If you walk past the study libraries in Mukherjee Nagar, old Rajinder Nagar, you will hear a silent collective anxiety that has nothing to do with the next notification of Philips. For many years during my UPSC preparation, I trained my brain to act like a supercomputer. I memorized every major geopolitical shift, the precise clause of every constitutional amendment, and the chronological breakdown of centuries of human conflict. I taught myself to analyze societal problems in exactly 3 points: social, economic, and political. But last week, I sat down in front of an AI model, ChatGPT, typed a complex prompt about civil services reform, and watched it generate a flawless, structured essay in less than 5 seconds. An essay that would have taken me 3 hours of agonizing cognitive strain to construct. And in that moment, uh, terrifying psychological realization hit me. I spent the prime years of my youth training my mind to become a machine. Right before the machine arrived to do it in a better way. Psychologists often talk about identity foreclosure, a state where an individual commits to an identity before exploring other options. As aspirants, our entire self-worth is hardwired into what we know. We measure our value by the thickness of our notes and the data points stored in our cortex. We take pride in being walking encyclopedias. But when technology renders pure data retrieval obsolete, it triggers a profound cognitive crisis. You look in the mirror and ask, if I am not a repository of information, then who am I? What is the value of my human efforts? This is where the philosophy of epistemology, the study of what distinguishes justified beliefs from opinions, takes a sharp turn. For generations, the human monopoly on knowledge was our greatest asset. But we are moving into an era where knowing everything is no longer an intellectual flex. The French philosopher Jean Baudrillard wrote about the concept of Simulacra, where the representation of a thing replaces the reality of the thing itself. By spending years mimicking a database, I had turned my own consciousness into a copy of a computer. True philosophy reminds us that human intelligence was never meant to be a storage unit. The purpose of a deep, rigorous education like the one you get while preparing for the civil services or the UPSC is not to turn you into a hard drive. It is to build your capacity for a better perspective. A machine can cross reference ancient history with modern law in milliseconds, but it cannot feel the moral weight of an administrative decision. It cannot sit at a local tea stall in Delhi, look at an elderly street vendor, and intuitively understand the human dignity behind their struggles. Today, as an ex UPSC aspirant, I look at my rows of neatly highlighted books differently. They are no longer a currency to buy a rank. They were the weights I lifted to strengthen my mind. The crisis of our generation is not that machines are thinking like humans. The crisis is that we spent too long training humans to think like machines. The race to know everything is officially over now. The new journey is about learning how to feel, how to connect, and how to apply human consciousness to a world overwhelmed by the data. My database might be so obsolete, but my humanity is just getting started. Thank you.